Hey everyone, Dr. Jamie here, and this is my last video. I would assume on suicide for National Suicide Prevention Month. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about being a survivor. Being someone who was left behind when a loved one has committed suicide, or as some say, died by suicide. Um, and I want to share a little personal stuff with you. But if you're a person who has been left behind by someone who has taken their own life, then you know, as well as I do, how absolutely painful that is, how horrific that is, and really, really confusing. I've actually lost 3 people to suicide. The first one when I was 16, a very close friend of mine who unfortunately took his own life in front of me. And so I was there and holding him, and he died in my arms. That was an experience for me that changed my life, absolutely changed my life. I would say it actually sent me into a little suicidal ideation for a while. But I worked through that, luckily, had some support, so I got through that. But I'll tell you, when I think about Kubler-Ross's stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, I would say it probably wasn't until my mid-30s before I actually processed that suicide and worked through all of my feelings. So that was quite a while. I mean, it was, maybe 20 years. Anyhow, and then I had a second friend. It was an old friend take his own life. I hadn't been in contact with him for a while. I had seen him just briefly in a fast food restaurant just prior to this happening. And I remember feeling some guilt because I felt like I knew he was depressed, and I didn't say anything. I just kind of I offered him support and my phone number if he needed anything. And that was the end of it. So I definitely went through some guilt with him. But I processed through that loss a lot more quickly. Then my best friend took her own life in 2012. And man, I definitely went through denial immediately. I, along with a couple of other friends, really thought that there had been some foul play involved and that she hadn't actually taken her own life. But I realized after a few days that wasn't true. She had, once I read some things that she wrote, and saw where she was with her thinking, and I knew already that she was struggling with some things. So I would say with her, I skipped the anger and I went straight to bargaining after the denial. And we do that sometimes. We go back and forth through those different stages. So I did a lot of talking to God and why, and could you bring her back, and things like that. And promising that I would be a better friend, things such as that. And then I definitely went into some depression over this. I think that something that helped me stay out of depression for a little while was the fact that I was helping her family process and go through her things and get some closure. And so that definitely helped, being around other people. But eventually I did go into some depression. And then another friend of mine, she and I kind of did a little ceremony, like a Viking ceremony, because my friend who took her own life actually was very much into that. That was her heritage. And so So we did a little Viking ceremony with his doll on a little raft that we made, and we lit it on fire and sent it down a creek. um, so that was actually kind of a cool little process that we went through together to support one another and to honor my friend. And so I went back and forth with her on the feelings, denial, bargaining, depression, and then back to anger. Eventually I got really, really angry. And I thought, how dare you leave me behind? How dare you hurt other people with this action, And that took me a while. So, I would say that I have gotten closure on that death. It doesn't mean that I don't think about her, and I don't think about all three of these friends, from time to time. And sometimes you get triggered. Something happens, someone says something, you see something, like I see her car, cars like hers all the time, and then that makes me think of her. But any of our senses can trigger us to think. And so, what I do now is I just look at the positive aspects of their lives and those people and what they brought into my life, and I pray about it, and I hope that they're at peace. But that's what I do, and that's what I would encourage you to do. Definitely get support. Reach out. Don't isolate yourself. That definitely puts you at risk for depression and hopelessness yourself. So reach out for help. Depend on friends. Depend on family members. Go to therapy if you need therapy. Whatever you need, and allow yourself to think about those people and your loved ones who took their own lives, and to honor them in some way. And that's going to help you to move through all of those different stages. So I hope that this was cool with you, for me to share my personal story with suicide, and I beg you to take care of yourselves, okay? Do what you need to do to engage in self-care, and to love yourself, and to honor yourself. And I guess that's about it. All right, everyone. So I hope you guys all take care, and you have a blessed and wonderful day. And I will see you again soon. All right. Bye. And this is water, by the way, in case you were wondering.